Let me begin with a simple idea. An idea that has the power to change everything. And here it is. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. Now, you might say, Jim, I've heard that before. Yes, you have. But hearing is one thing, understanding, that's another. And applying, well, that's the secret sauce. You see, life doesn't give us guarantees. It gives us challenges, storms, obstacles, uncertainty, pain. But it also gives us something else, the opportunity to grow strong enough to overcome them. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. That's the philosophy. You don't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Your ability to overcome anything is not written in the stars. It's written in your mind, in your habits, in your discipline, in your education. Not the kind you get from school, but the kind you get from life, from mentors, from books, from constant learning. Today, I want to take you on a journey into educating your mind so you can overcome anything life throws your way. Because if you can conquer here, the mind, you can conquer anywhere. Let's begin. You know, life has this funny way of testing us. It throws the unexpected. It shakes us when we least expect it. And sometimes, it feels like we're barely hanging on. But let me tell you something, it's not the event that breaks you. It's how you process it. It's not what happens that determines your life future. It's what you do about what happens. You see, your mind, this marvelous gift, can either lift you up or pull you down. I've met people who had very little. No special education. No special connections, no money. No advantages. But their mind was strong. They fed it with wisdom. They disciplined it with good habits. They refused to be victims. And they rose. And I've seen others with every advantage, but with weak minds. Filled with doubt. Filled with fear. Paralyzed by procrastination. And they fell. The same wind blows on us all. The economic wind. The social wind. The political wind. The personal wind. But some set their sail one way and win. Others set it another way and lose. The difference? The educated mind. Most people don't realize it. But you're talking to yourself all day long. The question is, what are you saying? Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Don't just tell yourself, everything's fine. Train your mind to say, whatever comes, I will handle it. I will prepare. I will strengthen. I will overcome. That's not delusion. That's preparation. Let me ask you, what are you feeding your mind? The news, gossip, negativity, fear, or books, wisdom, philosophy, disciplined thinking, goal setting. Poor thinking habits keep most people poor. If you want to overcome anything, you've got to give your mind the right nutrition. Garbage in, garbage out, wisdom out. It's predictable, not magical. You don't have to accept every thought your mind throws at you. You can choose. Stand guard at the door of your mind. That's your job, every day, every hour. Because the educated mind can say, no, that thought is not serving me. No, that belief is limiting me. No, that fear is not my master. And when you do that, consistently, you become unstoppable. Let's continue this journey. Because once you understand the power of choice, you must also understand how to condition your mind for resilience. Let me share something with you that I've learned over many years. Life will test you. The storms will come. The winds will blow. The rain will fall. That's not negative thinking. That's just reality. We're not here to hope for no storms. We're here to prepare for them. Because storms don't destroy everyone. They only destroy those who are unprepared. The question is not if you'll face difficulty. The question is, will you be strong enough when it arrives? You see, storms come in many forms. Financial storms, relationship storms, health storms, business storms, emotional storms. They don't send a warning. They don't ask for permission. They just arrive. Now here's the key: resilience is not built in the storm. It's built long before it arrives. Don't wait until you're thirsty to start digging the well. That's why you must begin the work of mental preparation. Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. You don't build a strong mind overnight. It's not a grand event. It's not a weekend seminar. It's not a motivational quote on the wall. It's daily discipline. Getting up early when you don't feel like it. Reading one more chapter. Writing down your goals. Saying no to temptation. Pushing forward when it's uncomfortable. Controlling your thoughts when negativity knocks. The same wind blows on us all. The difference is the set of the sail. Every time you practice discipline, you strengthen your mind. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you build resilience. Brick by brick, layer by layer. So when the storm comes, and it will, you'll be ready. You know, one of the greatest tools of the educated mind is anticipation. Most people are surprised by problems. The resilient mind expects them. Not because they want trouble, but because they understand reality. Prepare for winter all summer long. That's wisdom. Don't wait for the crisis to start budgeting. Don't wait for the illness to start taking care of your health. Don't wait for the market crash to start saving. Don't wait for the failure to start learning new skills. The educated mind says, I may not know what storm is coming, but I know one will, and I will be prepared. That's not fear, that's maturity. Now listen carefully. Even the most resilient will get knocked down. That's life. Resilience doesn't mean you never fall. It means you get back up faster. You learn the lesson. You correct the course. You sharpen the sword. It's not what happens that matters most. It's what you do about what happens. Every fall becomes a class. Every failure becomes a seminar. Every disappointment becomes a lesson. And over time, the educated mind grows stronger, more flexible, more prepared. You become like a seasoned captain. You've seen the waves, you've weathered the storms, and you know how to navigate. Don't wait for resilience to show up on its own. Don't wait to feel strong. Make the decision, now, that you will become strong. Resolve says, I will. When you resolve to build mental resilience, you change your future. You stop blaming. You stop hoping for easy. You start preparing. You start practicing. And one day, people will look at you and say, how did you handle that so well? And you'll simply smile and say, I trained for it. The world belongs to those who are prepared. The storms will test us all. But if you do the work today, the small disciplines, you'll meet the storm with strength, not fear. Because remember, it's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination. It's the set of the sail. Next, we'll talk about what you feed your mind. Because mental resilience also depends on the philosophy you build. Now that we've talked about the storms and how to build resilience before they arrive, let's go even deeper. Let's talk about direction. Because listen carefully. It doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're headed the wrong way. You see, many people work hard. They're disciplined. They're consistent. But they're lost because their mind is full of wrong directions. The wrong philosophy, the wrong beliefs, the wrong information. That's why I say don't just feed your mind. Feed it with the right directions. Because an educated mind isn't just full. It's full of the right things. You know, we're all students. Every one of us. The question is, who is your teacher? What is your curriculum? What philosophy are you building? Your personal philosophy is the major determining factor in how your life works out. Not the government, not the economy, not your neighbor, not your boss. Your philosophy, what you believe about work, about money, about people, about success, about failure, about life. You see, it's easy to pick up poor directions. They're everywhere. Negative people, the news, social media, the gossip down the street, the complainers at the coffee shop. And if you're not careful, you'll absorb it, little by little, day by day, until one day you wake up and wonder, why am I so discouraged? Why do I feel stuck? Why can't I break through? Because, my friend, you've been programmed with poor directions. Everything affects everything. A little poison in the mind, repeated daily, can ruin a lifetime. Now here's the good news. You can change everything if you change your philosophy. How? By becoming a student of wisdom. Not by chance. By choice. Start feeding your mind with the right books, the right mentors, the right ideas, the right associations. The right examples. If you want things to change for you, you have to change. That begins by changing what you learn. Books your personal university. Let me give you one of my secrets. Books saved my life. When I was broke, when I was frustrated, when I was lost, I found books. And in those pages, I found new directions. The wisdom of successful people, the lessons from great minds, the philosophies that built wealth, health, leadership, and influence. Miss a meal, but don't miss your reading. Every book is a mentor. Every page is a classroom. Every chapter is a new direction. Next, find mentors. Don't take 30 years to learn what you can learn in 30 minutes. A good mentor will shorten your learning curve. They've already been down the road. They've made the mistakes. They've paid the price. Sit with them. Listen to them. Learn from them. Don't argue. Don't resist. Just receive. Profits are better than wages, and wisdom is better than trial and error. And now be careful here. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you hang around complainers, you'll become one. If you associate with dreamers, doers, and learners, you'll rise. Choose your company carefully. They influence your philosophy quietly, consistently, powerfully. Environment matters. Every day, the world is trying to program your mind. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Before you watch it, ask does this build me up or tear me down? Before you listen, ask, will this take me closer or further from my goals? Before you believe, ask, is this truth or is this poison? Because if you guard the gates, if you feed your mind with the right directions, you won't just survive the storms, you'll sail through them. Direction is more important than speed. Education is more than facts. It's philosophy. Wisdom is more valuable than information. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Your mind, if properly directed, will take you places you've only dreamed of. But if you fill it with confusion, doubt, and garbage, it will sabotage your future. Choose wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, we've traveled quite a distance together so far. We've talked about the storms of life. We've talked about resilience. We've talked about feeding your mind with the right directions. But now, we arrive at a battle that is more personal, more internal, more difficult than most people realize. The battle for your emotions. Let me tell you something I learned a long time ago. Most people are not ruled by circumstances. They are ruled by emotions. Their life rises or falls not based on what happens, but how they feel about what happens. A bad meeting ruins their whole week. One failure breaks their confidence for years. A word of criticism haunts them for a lifetime. You see, emotions are powerful. But here's the key. Emotions are powerful servants, but terrible masters. If you don't control them, they will control you. Now I want you to listen carefully. Hearing life is emotional. No one is exempt. You'll feel fear. You'll feel anger. You'll feel discouragement. You'll feel envy. You'll feel frustration. Even the strongest among us feel it. The difference isn't in feeling. The difference is in mastery. You cannot stop the birds of sorrow from flying overhead, but you can stop them from building a nest in your hair. Let's talk about a few emotional traps that rob people of their destiny. We all face disappointment. Plans fail. People let us down. Results take longer than we expected. Disappointment is inevitable. Discouragement is optional. You see, discouragement whispers, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. It's no use. And if you listen long enough, you'll stop trying altogether. But the educated mind answers, I am disappointed, yes, but I am not defeated. I will learn. I will adjust. I will rise again. That is discipline. Anger feels powerful at first, but left uncontrolled, it destroys relationships, careers, and reputations. Hi, who angers you, controls you. But don't hand your power to someone who offended you. To breathe. Learn to pause. Learn to respond with wisdom, not rage. Because anger uncontrolled is self-destruction. Now let's talk about one of the biggest traps, fear. Fear whispers, don't take the risk. Don't try. Stay where it's safe. What if you fail? And so many never begin because fear paralyzes them. But here's the rule: fear is a story your mind tells you. Most of the time, it's fiction. A courage doesn't mean you feel no fear. It means you act in spite of fear. The educated mind says, I acknowledge my fear, but I move forward anyway. There's a world of difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is automatic. Response is deliberate. When you react, you lose control. You hand the wheel to your emotions. But when you respond, you stay in charge. When bad news comes, pause. When anger rises, when fear knocks, the pause is power. That pause allows wisdom to speak. That pause allows philosophy to guide. That pause keeps you in control. Emotional mastery is not a gift. It's a practice, a daily discipline. Every morning, you wake up and say, today I stand guard at the door of my mind. Today, I choose my response. Today, I will not be ruled by circumstances. You practice gratitude, which shrinks fear, perspectiving, which weakens anger, patience, which calms frustration, learning, which dissolves discouragement. Over time, you build an inner fortress, a place inside that remains calm no matter what happens outside. Calmness is a superpower. Let's not forget, your environment matters. Association is powerful. Spend time with complainers, and you'll become one. Surround yourself with fearful people, and you'll live in fear. Walk with angry people, and you'll burn with anger. But if you walk with calm minds, with disciplined thinkers, with those who've mastered their emotions, you will rise. Their stability will become your stability. Their strength will sharpen your strength. Let me share one more secret. When your purpose is bigger than your emotions, you become unstoppable. A person with a clear mission, a strong vision, a burning reason, can endure frustration, disappointment, fear, and even failure, because they say, my mission is bigger than this moment. My goal is greater than this feeling. Of that, my friends, is emotional mastery at its highest level. The storms will come. Emotions will rise. You will feel the pull to react. But you must choose mastery. Control what you can control. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sail. And when you master your emotions, when you respond instead of react, when you remain steady while others panic, you position yourself for greatness. We've come a long way together. We've studied the storms of life. We've learned to build resilience. We've fed our mind with right directions. We've mastered our emotions. Now comes the most important part, action. Because knowledge alone is not enough. Philosophy without application is wasted potential. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. But the educated mind is not simply full. It is active. It builds. It creates. It endures. It overcomes. Let me share something with you. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not information. Many people know what to do, but few actually do it. They know they should save money, but they don't. They know they should read, but they don't. They know they should discipline their time, but they don't. They know they should exercise, but they don't. The bridge between knowing and doing is discipline. Now here's the secret: you don't need giant leaps. You need small, simple disciplines, repeated daily. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. One page read, one more phone call, one small saving deposited, one moment of reflection, one choice of patience over anger. Individually they seem small, but compounded over time, they create greatness. Neglect is also small. Neglect is missing one small action daily, and pounded over time, neglect destroys. So choose discipline, daily discipline, consistent discipline. Now, let's face the truth. Everything you want is on the other side of doing. And the hardest part is beginning the first book, making the first call, taking the first step, facing the first fear, having the first conversation. Most people wait for perfect conditions. They wait for the fear to vanish. They wait for everything to feel easy. But you must understand, you don't get courage before you start. You get courage after you start. Take the first step, then take the second. The path becomes clearer as you move. Once you begin, something beautiful happens: momentum. Momentum makes hard things easier. The pain is greatest at the beginning. The reward grows with movement. The more you act, the more natural it becomes. The first speech is terrifying. The 10th is easier. The first sale is awkward. The 100th flows naturally. The first failure feels heavy, but you learn to recover faster. Momentum is a reward for discipline. Even with action, setbacks will still come. No one walks a perfect road. Plans will fail. People will criticize. Results will delay. Circumstances will change. But remember, setbacks are not the end. They are the price of progress. The educated mind doesn't quit at the first sign of difficulty. It adjusts. It learns. It adapts. It improves. If one method fails, find another. If one door closes, knock on the next. If one market shifts, pivot wisely. Flexibility is strength. Persistence is power. Here's a great secret of those who become unstoppable. Purpose is stronger than pain. When your reason for doing is big enough, the obstacles become smaller. A parent works tirelessly for their child. An entrepreneur fights through failure for their vision. A leader endures criticism for their mission. If the why is strong, the how becomes possible. So fuel your action with a strong purpose. Know why you're doing what you're doing. To build a better life. To serve your family. To honor your potential. To become all you were created to be. Purpose gives power to action. Now listen closely. Success is not built in one grand moment. It is built in the quiet, unseen hours of daily effort. Every day matters. One more day of discipline. One more hour of study. One more conversation with your mentor. One more decision to keep going. Consistency is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Don't work hard for a week and quit. Work consistently for years and succeed. We overestimate what we can do in a day, but underestimate what we can do in a decade. Play the long game. The educated mind is a powerful mind, but its true power is not just in knowing. It is in doing. You have the philosophy. You have the emotional mastery. You have the directions. You have the resilience. Now, you move. You build. You keep going. Discipline your mind. Discipline your emotions. Discipline your actions, and you will become unstoppable. The storms will come. The winds will blow. But your sails are set, and your future, if you stay the course, will become a masterpiece. Thank you for staying with me on this journey.